It's a good morning, and we welcome you to Achimota Stadium for the first semi-final that is between Namibia and Uganda. Let's go straight to the national anthems. All right, well, thank you. Those are the two teams that are doing better today in the first semi-final. Namibia taking on Uganda in a very important encounter that sees them looking for those two tickets to the final. But let's find out what happened at the toss when the two captains were out there with Dennis Mosali.
The gold medal rush at the 13th edition of the African Games in Accra, Ghana starts today. Our first semi-final clash is between Uganda and Namibia. We're out in the middle for the toss with the two captains, Kenneth Weiser for Uganda and Malan Kruger for Namibia, and the tournament match referee, Mr. Owen Kirombe. Uganda the home side, so Kenneth will be doing the tossing. Malan, you win the toss. Tell us what you're going to do and why.
We're going to have a bat first. It looks like a really used wicket, so I think we'll benefit from it in the second innings.
All right. Yesterday you did what you had to do to get yourselves into the semi-final. What is going to be the plan today against Uganda?
Yeah, I just think to play freely and just enjoy it. I think all of the guys had a good enough run here to just enjoy it and grab the bull by the horns.
What do you feel will be a good total for you to put on the board?
I think any total, looking at yesterday, it looked tough. So I think get off to a good start and then just capitalize the last 5 to 6 overs, and then we'll see.
All right. Any changes from the team that played yesterday?
No, same team.
All right. Good luck to you and the boys.
Thank you.
Kenneth, you've been asked to bat second. What do you make of the decision?
Yeah, I wanted to bowl first on this wicket, make use of the early conditions, so it's a win-win for us.
All right. Your captain is out. Any other changes you have in the team?
Yeah, unfortunately, Brian is out, so Cosmas comes in.
What would be a good total to limit Namibia 2 in the first inning so that you have an easier second inning?
Yeah, I think below 100 would be a good score on this wicket, but we'll see how the conditions will be.
All right. Good luck to you and the boys.
Thank you.
That's the news from the middle. Namibia have won the toss and they've elected to bat first.
Right, so that's the news from the center. Namibia winning the toss and they're choosing to bat first. And they're hoping that they can put runs on the board and be able to restrict Uganda from going after it. So this is the first time that we're seeing cricket at the 13th edition of the Africa Games. Two both teams, they're prepped up and they're ready. I'll tell you what, this promises to be a thrilling encounter. Joining me in the commentary box early on today will be Endurance of Fem. Good morning, Endurance.
Good morning, Eli. Bright and sunny day here from Achimota A Oval. A much expected encounter. Namibia versus Uganda, something to play for. Both teams poised up and charged in. Uganda top in their group and coming here with 3 wins. Namibia winning only 1 from that group, but managed to sneak in through net run rate, which is good to see.
Definitely a path that is different, but they're all looking for one thing, and that is some silverware around their neck. Like you just mentioned, Namibia, not the best of starts in the tournament. They lost their 2 first games, and then last, they just managed to clobber Tanzania within the required 15 overs, or just under 15 overs, so that they be able to just get a better net run rate, and they find themselves in a semi-final spot. But meanwhile, Uganda, they got 3 out of 3. A World Cup bound team showing their prolific preparation, and they're hoping to just polish up before they head off to the West Indies and the United States for the T20 World Cup. But right now, the honors is on being crowned African champions in the 13th edition of the African Games. They're fighting for one of those 2 spots left for the final. So Namibia winning the toss and choosing to bat first. And they're hoping that they can have a good start. And it'll be key to see how these 2 teams operate in the conditions that we have. The surface looks good and looks hard enough that it will maintain its status throughout the course of the game.
There you have the umpires, Isaac Ojeko from Kenya and Aino Chabi strolling in. At the end of the day, who wins when it matters most is the story, not how you got here.
And that is so true. How you got here doesn't matter anymore. Brian Masaba not in the side today. As the captain, he suffered an injury yesterday, and that sees Kenneth Waiswa being the captain of the day. And he has a very important task to see his side through. And also Malin Kruger, stand-in captain for Namibia, will be the man to open the batting for Namibia. And he will be with Nicholas Jacobus Davin. We'll be hoping that they can do their captains proud as stand-in captains. So this is the first of the 2 semi-finals that we have today. Later we shall be seeing Zimbabwe in action taking on Kenya. And that's later on this afternoon. We greet you from wherever you're watching this from around the world, be it in Fan Code or Sports Eye, various sporting channels that are broadcasting this live. Alpesh Ramjani will be opening the bowling for Uganda from the city end. And facing will be Malin Kruger. He had a stellar performance on the opening day against Zimbabwe. Blasted off to a brilliant 48. Mareva hasn't had the best of tournaments after that, so you'll be hoping for a similar performance like in the first game, because this is a semi-final.
Crucial one indeed, Eli, and clearly leading from the front. He's got to dictate how this will go. Interesting to see Uganda opening bowling with spin. And the 2 fielders would be expected outside the inner ring, 30-yard circle. You have one at long off and the other deep mid-wicket.
Well, it worked well for them yesterday in their game against South Africa. They did quite well.
Brilliant start, dot ball straight away. That's the thing with this field today. See some real attacking field placement there. One slip in, backward of point, point covers. Those men in the ring, square leg, mid on.
A great start, just bowling a straightish line. They are hoping just to be able to navigate through the power play. That is Uganda, with not much given away. Looking for room to cut through. They squeeze a quick single. Namibia have the first runs on the board. Marlon Kruger is off the mark.
Just a miscommunication there by both fielders. Living dangerously. But good to see how Dinesh manages to get the ball back.
Just work leg side for another quick single. Nicholas Jacobus Davin also off the mark.
There you go, the Namibian dugout. Calm, quiet.
Comes across, goes for a big heave, leg side. It'll take a few bounces and it'll race. Great effort in the deep to stop that one. But they will run 3, if I'm not mistaken. But I tell you, Namibia are looking to be as attacking as ever. Marlon Kruger on that occasion just going across the stumps, looking to utilize that vacant space that is just behind square leg and short fine leg. Trying to go down straight is Jacobus. He'll pick up 2 comfortably. This will be a great test for Uganda before they head off to the World Cup. And that'll be the end of the first over. 7 runs on the board for Namibia. As I was just about to say, is that this will be a good test for Uganda before they head to the World Cup. We know Namibia also going there, but it'll be a great test for Uganda to see where they are in terms of their bowling attack to sides that are participating there. What have they done right? What do they need to fix? But before they get there, they need to get this right for this particular tournament.
I can't agree less, Eli. Plenty of playing time here required by both teams. It's Cosmos.
Just tucked away leg side for another single.
I know the Namibian side have left out a couple of players that might be visible at the World Cup. However, this is also an opportunity for those who are on the side now. Everyone wants a chance and get the opportunity to be at that big World Cup. Cosmos returning from injury and steadily being infused into this Ugandan bowling lineup. Hopefully, it would be good to see him really quick and ready by the time the World Cup comes by.
Just punch off the back foot for another single.
Eli, were you tested yesterday on your color code and understanding by Innocent? Yeah, he was asking me what color Zimbabwean jersey was. And I was freaked out. Yeah. And then he asked me, what's the color of Uganda? I said, yellow. You're Zimbabwean. What's the color of your jersey?
It's gold, my friend.
Oh, there you
Gold, red and gold.
go. There you go.
Again, just paddled off the back foot for a quick single. I wait to see what Oppress Moranda Namibia will be looking to have. They pretty much seem good against pace. And throughout the tournament, if you put pace on and pace goes, they're not afraid to make you fetch leather, especially Marlon Kruger. But I wait to see how they will navigate the spin. That has definitely been one of the strengths of the Ugandan side. Opening up with a pace on one end and spin on the other. It'll also be a great test of captaincy for Kenneth Waiswa, a semi-final that you're being put in charge of, and a lot will rely on the decisions that you make, who you choose to bring in, how you choose to attack, and at the end of the day, you'll be answerable for those decisions.
Well, certainly I know they'll have a plan. However, as the game changes, it becomes the captain's call on the field of play. And that's how this game works. I remember those days you're told this guy is going to bowl so overs, that guy is going to bowl. And then you go in, the batters go after them, then you have to make quick changes. And those calls he has to make here.
Short and pulled away. It'll be a few bounces. And this will be the first 4 that we'll see of this encounter. Nicholas Jakobas opens his boundary account.
That was a half tracker. Clearly shapes up nicely and would go over mid-wicket. That gap there, no fielder in that region.
Well, on this surface, if you're going to bowl a bouncer, it has to be pretty good and backed up by serious pace. So it is important for fast bowlers to realize that. And that'll be end of the second over. 2 overs down. Namibia, 14 for no loss.
Okay, that's it. Bowling change here for Uganda. Miyagi comes into the attack.
Good ball first up from Juma Miyagi. He had a good game yesterday. It was a good and exciting encounter. He had quite a face-off with... It was between him and George Van Heeden. They were going head-to-head. But in the end, I tell you, Juma Miyagi won that battle. We're going to see today how he fares out. Looking to open the face of the bat there. Marlon Kruger not given the opportunity.
He knows a lot depends on him, so he would take his time to walk this one around. Not really bad. 6 of 8 deliveries. And going presently at 6 runs per over. Namibian side will be looking to capitalize on this. Stick around as long as possible and play for strength. The second part of this innings.
Straight. That goes through. And that'll be 4. That was timed and creamed to perfection. That's 4 runs.
That's what you wait for. Walking across here and making use of that amazing footwork. Just walks it down the leg side, and that one goes past the fielder at mid-on.
Yeah, Bilal Hassan just diving to show an effort to say, I tried, but I couldn't get there. Cut away, opening the face of the blade. It'll just fall short of third man, and it'll trickle all the way to the boundary. Back-to-back boundaries for Marlon Kruger.
Unlucky Miyagi conceding very quickly. Consecutive boundaries was there for the take. Short, giving weight. The fielder perhaps looking to go for the catch.
Definitely went for the catch there, but didn't get to that one on time. Probably got his fingertips to it, but still had enough to go over the line. This time worked away leg side. Deep square leg. Bit of work to do. It's been a good over so far for Namibia.
That's quite a big over. This
a big over indeed, 9 off it. And that marks the end of the third over. So 3 overs down. They are 23 for no loss, Namibia. Cosmos back into the attack. Again, just stepped short. And run away to third man. Cleans up. Marlon Kruger trying to push for a second. But the throw is a good one from Bilal Hassan.
Uganda will have to find a rhythm here. You don't want to keep them running at 7.5 plus and over.
Some of the fans that have come out to watch the games, we have had decent crowds coming through, and we're hoping that in today's clashes of the semi-finals we'll have a different or larger crowd to come through. Played straight, and a quick single taken. That was a well-timed run. Good cricket altogether. The throw was good, but the man made it just in time.
That at least will send a warning to the Namibians. Brilliant pickup. Hitting the timber there. That's it. Held his own straight to mid-off. And that direct hit. But he made his ground quick enough.
The key to that run was the call, because the batter who hit the balls on running to the danger end was able to get off in time. Played again leg side, but will be well fielded there.
Triangular throw there.
coming down the track. There's shouts of appeal for a caught behind there, but the umpire is not interested.
He did hit something, but certainly umpires show not the bat.
See what could have that come off. This coming off the thigh pad rather. Wicketkeeper going up. Cyrus Kakuru.
It's always going to be tough to see those ones.
It's blasted over extra cover. Just had enough height on it. But it'll race away. There'll be efforts in the deep to clean up and just keep it to 2. Marlon Kruger almost presenting an opportunity to Roger Mukasa there at extra cover. Didn't time that, or didn't rather come from the middle of the bat, but just the toe end. But he did enough fire on it to just get over extra cover. The way Namibia going, they're trying to utilize the restrictions of the power play. Comes down the wicket. Well bowled by Cosmos. That's the end of the 4th over. It's 27 for Nolos.
Run rate still at 6.7. Namibia is still trying to climb from that position, but Uganda have managed to keep things within control here. It's been controlled aggression by the Namibians. But I'm certain Ugandans won't mind this current situation. Perhaps a wicket or 2 within this power play. Dinesh Kumar is the bowler coming from the... I like you gave the names.
And that's the zoo end. Where Dinesh Kumar Nakrani will be coming from. Change of bowler from the zoo end, pace, rather medium pace, coming through from there. Trying to make sure that the Namibian batters don't get used to one particular type of bowling. Walks down the wicket, Nicholas Jacobus, but misses that one. So Namibia just realizing that there are 2 overs left within the power play in this, and they want to make great use of those fielding restrictions. Goes up in the air. It'll go over cover. It'll be a few bounces. Great chase, but in vain. And that's 4. That up. Went up and over. And it raced away. Kept the fielder interested, but had enough legs to get over the boundary. Short, tried to pull that one away. Nicholas will feel that he missed out on that opportunity. And that's Nicholas Davine.
Always going to have worry moments when you miss out on those boundary deliveries. The previous one, over and above extra covers.
Goes straighter this time around. But long off will clean up.
I think Uganda managed to slow things down in this power play overs, not letting Namibia run away. And they keep trying to go over the top.
Excellent use of variation of pace there from Nakrani, but also just a good adjustment from Malan Kruger to just simply tap it into a vacant spot that allowed them to steal one. It's been rather been a controlled innings. Uganda would be the happier of the two at the moment. Haven't allowed Namibia to blast off. Again, great use of variation of pace. Bilal Hassan into the attack from the soccer side end. Replacing Kwewuta Cosmos. Just punch down for a single. Uganda's been good so far in keeping things tight. Really in keeping a tight leash on things. Namibia have just been averaging just 7 runs and over so far. They're getting the odd boundary here and there, but they haven't been allowed to really free their arms. So you have to give credit to Uganda's bowling for doing well. But however, I feel like Namibian batters, they will try and target one of the bowlers that are left in the power play. That's well bowled. But however, it'll be going down leg side. That will be wide called.
Namibia would be happy to take those few ones. 36 presently. Into the last over of power play.
Pulled away. Pull with force. Deep square leg. Cleans up. That's Cosmos. Sends a good throw in. Just to keep it to 1.
Bilal was bowling his first over, the last power play over. Namibia, I would say, in a decent position here to carry through, having lost a wicket. But understanding the Ugandan side, we expect to see more spin after this.
Trying to play that through the covers. Well, the key thing for Namibia, I would say, which has been a good thing, is that they've been able to rotate strike, pick up the singles here and there. They haven't been really been bogged down. So it's been allowing them to run ones here and there and possible 2 wherever there's a fumble or a mix-up. Hence, they've been able just to pick up 6 runs per over, which is good in the context of things that you haven't lost a wicket, but you've been keeping the scoreboard ticking. Again, good ball, dot ball. Well done.
A smart move there. Perhaps sees him shaping up to that off stump line. Hoping to hit on the pads. Perhaps a big appeal there. Not a bad over. 4 from it already. Last ball of the power play. It's good to see the amount of energy Bilal brings into this team.
Short and pulled away. And this one definitely will go to the boundary. And before, there will be 7 runs off that over to end the power play. Namibia will be 41 for no loss.
Clearly, half tracker not quick enough to do any damage to the Namibians. He needs to think this one through. You can't bowl half trackers unless you have those whales and really good whales. We'll be changing the comes box. The young and energetic voice. He calls himself what? His name is Dennis Musale. Will be joining me. Dennis, good morning.
Morning, Endurance. As we look at the highlights in the power play, I think a decent one for the Namibians. 41 for no loss after 6 overs. Not a bad place to be. And you must understand that Namibia score a lot of their runs at the top of the order. So the longer Malan Kruger and Nicholas Devine can stay in there, I think the better for the Namibians.
I agree with you, Dennis. It's 41 for no loss. This is a very good position to be in. You should climb from here. But knowing how compact this Ugandan side can be, they're a very good fielding side. You can't take that away from them. It's Alesh Ravilal that will continue from the zoo end. Looks to guide that one, but straight to the field at backward of point.
Endurance, I was listening to you earlier and you mentioned something that was very important. The captain, I think, will have to make some big calls, especially with the bowling changes. And it will be a test of character for Kenneth Waiswa to see what he can be able to do.
He will field out one himself, just a single.
Yeah, because for now the wickets have not yet come, and you feel that he's really shared the ball around his, prime bowlers, but none of them has been able to come up with a breakthrough. So he'll either have to bring himself into the attack or try and go to Henry Senyondo as well and see if they can be able to get a wicket.
And that's the difficult thing about captains who are bowlers. They're not sure when to bowl, trying to give other bowlers the opportunity, not over bowling themselves. But Kenneth will have to make tough calls.
I think in this team, Kenneth plays as the batting all-rounder. He's a kind of guy who bowl when is required, but not someone who should be bowling in case the situation doesn't require his services. So he might have to think about himself now as more of as a bowling option.
There's more dots. It's Namibia trying to get going from here, but Alpesh is bowled nicely. I was tucked into mid wicket. The man in the deep coming in. It's brilliant. I think brilliant field placement there. The left arm trying to go away from the right-hand batter. I'm forcing him to look for that gap, that big gap around the mid-wicket region.
Yeah, when you do that, you're going to be playing against a turn. You could get a leading edge. Chance. Loud enough for the umpire Isaac Ayeko to raise his finger. Malan Kruger trying to go for a big slog sweep. And Alpesh Ramjani comes and breaks the opening partnership. Namibia lose their first for 43.
And it's always going to be the case at some point because, I mean, look at that delivery again. There for the take, he goes into the shot. And the shouts, the appeal there, Ugandans. And Alpesh, very sure there was something in that one for him. And indeed, Isaac Oyeko obliged.
Yeah, I would have wanted Cyrus Kakulu to also pick up that ball and go for the run out. In case you miss out on the LBW, you still get the run out. But won't matter anyway because Alpesh Ramjani comes into the attack and picks up the wicket. Namibia losing their first. And a big wicket as well because Malan Kruger has been the enforcer of things for the Namibians at the top of the order. And without two experienced players in the captain, Lofty Eaton and Sean Fauché, Namibia have some runs out of that team. So look at that again. Going across his stumps, Malan Kruger, and struck right in front. I don't know why he had a problem with that. Maybe he was thinking pitched outside the line. But if he watches the replay, we'll have to give the umpire some apologies.
Very good decision by Isaac. Kruger will have to watch again. And that's the thing, when you're on the field, you always think you're safe or the ball hits you outside the line or you got a thin bat on it. But we must give it up for the umpires. We just have one chance, split seconds to make those calls. And so far, it's been very good from them.
Endurance, I'll tell you sometimes when we're youngsters, you try and do that so that you have something to apologize to your coach that probably it was the umpire's fault and not mine. But now in the digital era, I think both of them will have a look at that and make a few changes. The idea not very bad. We've seen Collins Obia do that quite a lot in this tournament, and he gets rewards for it. So maybe it's just execution that was missing.
It's the end of the 7th over, and it's 43 for 1. We're into the 8th over. Brilliant shot this time through covers. The much needed boundary. Namibian dugout quite excited about that one.
Yeah, overpitched from Dinesh Nakrani. Roger Mukasa had a lot of work to do, but it's a very dry outfield. If you want to put your body on the line, you might be in trouble. I think he must have thought about the dive and then realized that it wasn't a very good idea.
Shot this time. Nicholas wishing he had found the gap.
I'll tell you, Endurance, if you had found the gap just between point and that short third van region, he could have gotten a boundary because there's no one covering out in the deep. I think that's why he was disappointed. There was too much room on that.
The key thing is to point out the awareness of the batters, realizing where the fielders are placed. It plays in their head. A brilliant shot. This one just straighter. And we'll go through to mid-on.
Yeah, Dinesh now changing the angle from left arm over the wicket to left arm round the wicket. I think to just tighten up the right-handers, make sure you're not giving them enough room to free their arms. Gerhard Johannes Rohensberg comes to this.
I've always thought, as left-handers, you want to bowl from that angle to ensure you have that blind spot area against the right-hander.
I've also been advised by someone who's your very good friend, Davis Karashani. We always have an argument about that because he prefers this angle because it allows you to bring in the LB option into play.
Well, I can't agree less though, but you also have to realize it's easier to get going when the ball is shaping up into the bat, the right-hander. And then for every time, I for once, I'll be happy to see the left-hander coming to me rather than leaving me. When the ball is moving away, it's quite difficult to play. You must be strong on that footwork to get it right.
I think his argument has always been from the other side, from left arm over the wicket. You open up the field big time, and it will be difficult to find options of defending against very good batters. So from one end allows the captain to make sure that you tighten up on one side.
We're into the last ball of the 8th over. Shot but straight to the fielder, backward of point. No run there. And that's the end of the 8th over. It's 49 for 1. Whatever the decisions and positions are, Dennis, the game situations can decide those movements. And decisions by captain or bowlers to bowl around or over the wicket. But at the end of the day, the result is what counts.
Alpesh Ramjani will continue from the zoo end and be bowling to Gerhard Johannes. Ooh. From the reactions of the team, looked like there was something onto that. The wicketkeeper as well, Cyrus Kakuru. Gerhard
Alpesh gone for 9. And taking a wicket. And brilliant thus far. Brilliant piece of work there.
I think he's mastering the art of bowling with the new ball. Yesterday, he was the enforcer at the top of the order for Uganda. Picked up 3 wickets for 9 runs. And thereafter, the rest of the bowling fed off that. 4 wickets for Bilal Hassan. But this is something we also keep talking about, that maybe the Namibians need to pick and choose which bowlers they are going to go after. If Alpesh is the one who's bowling well for Uganda.
He goes big this time. Without go the way, straight to the man. Happy moments, the much needed. That man consistently catching for Uganda.
Mr. Safe Hands Roger Mukasa with another catch in the deep. Nicholas Davin hauling out, but only managing to find the safe hands of Roger Mukasa. Another wicket for Alpesh Ramjani. Good decision from Kenneth Whiteside to keep him in the attack. Very easy there for Roger Mukasa. Any day, any time, he will swallow those ones.
Just couldn't clear that enough. Didn't really get hold of it. But sooner or later, that risk was going to come anyway. You were talking about him bowling beautifully yesterday, and he's doing it again today.
And for me, my point was that you need to pick and choose which bowlers you're going to go after. And maybe Alpesh is not the one that you need to go after. You need to wait for that bowling change that can allow you to take the pressure off. Nicholas Davin going for 25 from 25 balls. Now 2 new batters on the crease for the Eagles of Namibia. JP Kotsa is the new batter for the Namibians.
Yesterday we saw a groundbreaking ceremony preparing space for that big stadium by Namibia.
Very soon Uganda is also going to do it. Worry not.
That will be good. That will be good.
Yes.
And I want to play there. Maybe the over 40s.
Yeah, I was going to say that as well, but it's okay. We can continue.
Uganda is home. I have a place in Ntinda. Oh, brilliant start off the mark.
Too easy there for JP Kotsa, but he gets off the mark. Endurance, you spoke about something that's very important. Namibians are going to host the 2027 50 over World Cup alongside Zimbabwe and South Africa. And I think it will be a very, very good thing for South Africa. South Africa and the others to put on a show I'm sure we shall be down there. Whichever way, we have our man Eli Tawanda. So we'll be taken care of once we are in Zimbabwe.
We must get to the Victoria Falls. Couldn't get hold of that one. Pitch outside the leg stump. And it's end of the 9th over. It is 51 for 2.
Yeah, what a top quality spell from Alpesh right now. He's picked up the 2 wickets, giving away just 11 runs in 3 overs. And you kept mentioning that where you go from here as Uganda is going to be very, very important. So key decisions to make on the field there for the standing captain, Kenneth Waiswa. Brian Masaba missing today because of an injury suffered yesterday in the win over South Africa. The man himself coming up with the result, even on one leg, clobbering a 6 over mid-wicket on the final ball with 3 runs required.
Beautiful side there. And that's the oval B across the dugout of Namibia. The calculations are on the stats. We'll be looking to give as much support to their batters as they can. It's Kenneth Waiswa who brings himself on into the 10th over. Hopefully we see some positive cricket here from Namibia. This game has to be a good game. And he'll be on the mark. A single straight up.
Yeah, Kenneth Wise were now with the responsibility of pushing in a couple of overs just to make sure that the rest of his prime bowlers are well rested before they come back again. One of the bowlers that has really impressed me so much, especially with the medium pacers and bowling variation, has been the Zimbabwean Tashinga Mupesiwa. I think he uses the wicket and the surface very well. And on top of that, his keeper, Clive Madende, is always standing up for him. So his variations are very, very difficult to pick up.
Certainly, and you don't want to just miss that delivery. Those quick hands behind the stumps yesterday, we saw how they walked out Ronshenwe and the rest of the Nigerian batters, putting pressure on the bat by standing up, and he just bowling one line. But the pace man, Trevor, this guy was quick yesterday.
Yeah, Zimbabwe will be coming up in the afternoon, the second semi-final, as they take on another East African team. It's been a South and East affair in the semi-finals. Kenya will be taking on Zimbabwe. Kenneth Wise, so again, you can see the change of pace. It's running down his fingers on that delivery. JP Kotsa and Garahad yesterday combined well. Their partnership, I think, is what put Namibia in a good place to chase down the total against Tanzania in the required overs for them to overturn that net run rate.
More runs, this time straight to backward of point. With Simon, the professor himself, is jogging on to that one. But good to see Kenneth with his change of pace, keeping the batters guessing.
At left and right combination, always a challenge for the fielders.
A wide delivery. Namibia would take that one. Not a bad position to be. That delivery again. Saw him coming down and tries to drop it even shorter.
Yeah, you can see Gerard there trying to use his feet so that he can negate the length and try and pick up that ball. Gerhard Johannes, part of the Namibian Under-19 team at the World Cup in South Africa early this year. A rising star of sorts and one for the future, most definitely.
That's the whole idea of the U19s tournament. Creating those future stars and giving them those opportunities to soar as high. But a change of mindset coming from 50 over formats into T20 cricket.
I think you learn the art by playing the longer formats. And then this is just making sure that you polish up your skill.
Room there. Cuts away, but feeder in the dip. They will get a couple, two from that delivery. And that brings us to the end of the 10th over, and it's 57 for 2. Current run rate 5.7 per over. We'll be having change in the comes box. Our dear friend, the big Oga. Where is he coming from? He's coming from Uganda. And then we'll take the cooling break now before you meet them. Innocent Ndaola, the next voice you'll be hearing.
We're back from the drinks break. The situation is Namibia are 57 for 2 after 10 overs. Namibia won the toss in this first semi-final and elected to bat first. Alpesh Ramjani with the 2 wickets for the Cricket Cranes. And as there's a change in the bowling for the Cricket Cranes, there's also a change in the commentary box. I'm joined by Innocent Daula. Innocent, welcome.
Thank you, Dennis. It's been a very good start here. The game is very evenly poised. Namibia getting a start. They lose 2 wickets there. Kruger gone. But Jean-Pierre Koza was the man out there in the middle winning the game for Namibia against Tanzania yesterday with 21 from 22. A big 6 there and 2 boundaries. And once he stays here longer, Uganda might pay heavily.
Soft hands from JP Kotsa. Just been 1 run. Alpesh Ramjani with the cleaning up. And you mentioned JP Kotsa, the winner, the match winner for the game for the Eagles yesterday. But it's good to see that he's available for this particular game, but he struggled a little bit in the heat. He needed a medical break for him to get back going.
That's what 37, 35 degrees does to you. This is Henry Senyondo in the attack. Uganda have kept faith in one of their most underrated bowlers, a man who has won them games silently, not because of his stature, but because that is the way he lives his life. He loves to do the talking with the ball.
Yeah, Henry Senyondo does a very, very, most times would say, thankless job, but he's always in there with the performance that enables the team. Bigger brother to Simon Cesar's, contrasting skills. One bats and the other is, one opens the batting, the other I think bats at the end.
Touch and go. They will be trying to run very hard between the wickets. They try to take on the fielder. The throw is good from young Juma Miyagi, covering a lot of yardage there.
That's a fast bowler's arm, so I don't think you want to take it on. But Uganda, what the plan could be from here on, either from the Namibians, Namibia, I think, trying not to lose so many wickets right now. They don't have so much batting.
Hitting it straight back past the bowler.
Especially after these two, there's not so much batting. They are without Lofty Eaton and Sean Foche, the other experienced batters in the side. So I think JP Kotsa and Gerhard Johannes will need to bat for so long.
Would be nice if you added a little meat to the talk of the absence of Lofty Eaton and Foche. Here the call would be two, but they don't take the second. They've already seen what Juma Miyagi's arm can do.
I think they won't dare take it on. Lofty Eaton missing. But Dylan Otto got a 40 against Nigeria. So he's no rabbit with the bat. Maybe he can be able to power a few hits over the boundary. And for now, Uganda seem very comfortable allowing them to pick up the ones and twos as long as they're not getting the boundaries.
Big wild slog there. A little bit agriculture from the batter, Jean-Pierre Koza. As we wrap up the over, good overboard by Henry Senyondo. It goes for 5, and the score is 62 for 2 after 11.
Kenneth Waiswa back into the attack. Cosmas Chewuta with the cleanup extra cover. Kenneth hasn't had to do a lot of bowling in the tournament. Maybe because he hasn't been required to. Just before this, he's bowled just 4 overs in the whole tournament. But this is a must-win game, a semi-final clash. Craig Williams, the batting consultant for the Cricket Cranes in your frame. Divided loyalties for him today.
Chance for a call. There is a misfield in the deep, and they take the 2 runs. Kenneth Waiswa will have words there. Some lip service to his fielders. He's the man in charge. He's the captain, and he wants everybody to step up.
Yeah, he must have wanted some more commitment there from Henry Senyondo. If you just fall on that ball, I think you will create some doubt in the batter's mind, but he just let it run before Cosmas was able to come around and clean up. Gotta work hard. This is 1 shot, 1 kill. If you get in the final, you are assured of a medal.
Wides it is. Uganda giving away quite many today. They've been miserly with the bowling, giving away around 5, 7 per match. You don't want to give away more than that. That could be the winning difference on the day.
Yeah, Kenneth Waiswa there trying the off cut and then just runs down the leg side. So I think the priority now for all the teams is to just make sure that for the first game, first things first, get yourself in the final, and then you start thinking about gold. Because once you are in the final on Saturday afternoon, whichever way it finishes, you will at least go back home with something.
Back-to-back extras there. Aino Chabi big boy, a test umpire, standing out here in the middle with a Kenyan, Isaac Oyeko. Should be a good game, good numbers. The numbers on the streams have been very good, but that is Kenneth Weiss was struggling for lines here and conceding runs unnecessarily. They will take all the runs. Namibia, they are in charge. I can tell you, Dennis, 8 wickets in hand. Touch and go. It's a good comeback ball from Kenneth.
Yeah, wickets in hand, always a deception. Because yesterday, Ghana were 93 for 2 and ended up finishing on 111 all out. So the wickets in hand sometimes is a deception. You just need to make sure that those that are in there can be better for a longer time.
Like you always want to say, less is more. Touch and go again. Looks like Uganda have figured out that the wicket is good for the medium pacers. And that's how they've managed to wrestle the game back momentarily into their favor, because there was a carnage up front from Kuruga.
I don't know, a lot of teams have been making the decision to bat first on this wicket based on the performance of Namibia and Zimbabwe in the first game. Every time someone loses the toss, their answer is that they feel that this wicket has a lot of runs in them. But the last couple of games haven't had so many runs in the wicket.
Sitting back in his crease, but Kenneth Waiswa is bowling a mixed bag here. Several variations.
No, you have to, and I think something that we need to work on later on. When you look at how Zimbabwe does it, their medium pacer who bowls those variations has the wicketkeeper standing up. Another off-cutter there from Kenneth Waiswa just running his fingers over that ball. I think Cyrus Kakulu needs to learn how to stand up for the way Kenneth Waiswa bowls. To just that gives him a lot more protection.
Kenneth Waiswa with the chance to end on a high here. Sit through the covers there, straight to the sweeper, who does a fine job. Alpesh Ravilal Ramjani.
You can see there Kenneth Waiswa on his on his knees, gasping for breath because it's just 10 a.m. but the heat today we've been promised that is going to be shearing hot. So you need a lot of cooling breaks just to make sure that you keep your body fit. That's the Achimota ground, the beautiful Achimota ground. We are using the Achimota A for the semi-finals and final games. But just across that, you can be able to see the Achimota B. These two facilities developed for the 13th African Games. And after this, I think it will be the only way will be up for Ghana cricket.
Chance for catch. Again, Roger Mukasa there, going rounded. I don't know if Roger Mukasa is at full fitness. I have not seen him try to do a lot of work in the field.
Reaching for it, Gerhard, and hit it just over the head of Henry Senyondo. The umpire Isaac Ayeko had to take cover.
Beaten for all money. Hands up.
Yeah,
well,
I'm sure Innocent, you'll be very proud of that. Henry Senyondo, a master of his art, getting patches out of the wicket. When you get that sort of turn, then it's also start getting creating doubt in the minds of the batters. They feel that if I jump out, I may walk past it.
He's gone big. This time round, he connects. Senyondo has been hit to the boundary every time he's given a little more flight. It's been his undoing, but the rest of the stuff is done.
Yeah, Gerhard has been looking at playing that shot at the end of the previous over. Tried that, attempted the same shot, but he was beaten. But this time he picks it up cleanly and he beats the fielders out there in the deep.
Herada Janse van Rezenberg here to do a job. We saw him at the World Cup qualifier as Namibia dominated and won Africa in Dar es Salaam last year. It's in the air. Won't take a catch. Doesn't carry. Juma Miyagi, busybody in the field. Uganda, no. This is the medal match. You win this one, you got a medal. If you don't win, you are left wondering whether even bronze will be possible.
Yeah, that's true. That's what happened to the Victoria Pearls. I think they were a bit casual in their semi-final, and in the bronze medal contest against the Nigerians, they ended up going home empty-handed. So you need to be very, very careful and make sure that you get this done very well. End of the 13th over, Namibia 74 for 2. I can look at the Achimota A ground again. If you zoom in closely, you could be able to see us in the commentary box. But a wonderful facility developed for the 13th African Games. And I think these two grounds should be able to serve Ghana cricket in the future. Bowling change, Kenneth Weiser brings back Bilal Hassan into the attack. Yeah, the Namibian dugout not panicking for now. They are 74 for 2. They have 7 more overs. If they get, 7 overs from 7 runs every 10 runs every over from here on, they can finish on probably 140. With the way Uganda struggled yesterday chasing down 95, maybe they could be inspired. No pace on there from Bilal Hassan. Starts off with a slower ball.
I tell you, Dennis, cricket is such a funny game. Just 24 hours can mean the whole world or a lifetime to you. And Uganda will be looking to bury those ghosts they did see in the wicket yesterday here. And they come out today, they look at the way Namibians have played, and there are no demons to exercise.
Pace on now from Bilal Hassan, much better from him. Like you've mentioned, I think yesterday's game already forgotten by the Ugandans. Kenneth Weiss was mentioning that they are going to just make sure today they go through their processes the way they have to, and that should give them a very positive result. A win in this game guarantees Uganda a medal in the final on Saturday. So I think their focus will just be making sure that they do well in this particular game.
Uganda going to a man who is a master of bowling at the death. Knows how to reverse the ball. He's mentored the young player playing alongside him here who will take over for longer, Cosmas and Juma, if they look after their bodies well.
Yeah, Cosmas, the only change for the team today, comes in for Brian Masaba. But I think Bilal Hassan has been very, very good with the ball at the back end of things together with Dinesh Nakrani.
Chance to run there this time round. They take the one. Jean-Pierre happy to get off strike.
One of the good things the Ugandans have done today is to just make sure that they bowl very good lengths and keep the Namibians quiet. Gerhard has been in your image there, the chairman of Uganda Cricket Association, Michael Nwagaba, here to support the cricket cranes.
Good variation again from Bilal, darting it on that fourth stump.
Yeah, I don't know why Gerhard is just trying to run the ball down to third man. There's already protection. I think that's why he missed it. There was some pace on that one, and the ball didn't sit up just enough for him to get some bat on it. The bounce a bit uneven from the end where Bilal is bowling, the field end.
Final ball of the 14th. Appealing and appealing, and it's a wicket. Is it? No, it's the end of the over. I beg your pardon.
You look at that again. I think Bilal gets away with that. Just down the leg side. If Gerhard had connected with it, it was going to run away for a boundary. But won't matter because it never happened. After 14 overs, Namibia 75 for 2. Alpesh comes into the attack to bowl his final over from the zoo end.
Alpesh Ramjani into his final over, 2 for 11. He's been the mystery man for Uganda, the ICC nominee for Player of the Year T20 in 2023. They'll just take the one. Alpesh continuing to do the hard work. He's given Uganda incisiveness in their bowling innings. And well, he's got a reputation, big one, the most number of wickets in 2023 all over the world, 55 wickets, Dennis.
Yeah, Alpesh had a fine year last year, 2023. And hopefully the Cricket Cranes will be hoping that he comes up with some heroics at the World Cup in the West Indies.
Batsman did not much about that. Herad calling through there, Pierre to come through quickly for one. They were moving at 7.5 per over, at one stage 8. But that was the power play. You can't dwell much on it. Right about now, they need to get a plan and deliver it to the Namibians. Big hit, we talk about plans. This is hit straight into the hands of Juma Miyagi.
Again, the slog sweep doesn't come off for JP Kotsa. That ball hit under the throat of Juma Miyagi, who completes a simple catch. Alpesh again comes into the attack and breaks the partnership. The shot was on, but I think JP Kotsa didn't know so much about Juma Miyagi being in that angle. Gets inside the line of the ball, picks it up cleanly, but there is no height over Juma Miyagi. There's no height or distance over Juma Miyagi, who takes a simple catch. Namibia lose their third wicket. 77 for 3.
Uganda picking a wicket there against the run of play, because I thought the idea and the plan I was talking about before he lost that wicket was to get the singles, and then the boundaries will take care of themselves, because a couple of other bowlers are going to come through, but you're taking on the best bowler of the team, a man who made it to the ICC T20 Team of the Year. Give him some credit. Play him out. Then go for the rest of the youngsters coming through. Cosmas yet to bowl his full load. Juma yet to come. And Bilal.
I'll tell you, Innocent, at this level, people don't play names. If you bowl rubbish, that rubbish will be dispatched. But Alpesh living up to his reputation. Third wicket for him, 3 for 13. And good captaincy from Kenneth Wise as well. He's been able to use him well. Every time he's come into the attack, he's picked up a wicket. Maybe the wrong plan for the Namibians has been who to pick up on. Because after this, there are a couple of overs for Bilal, Dinesh and Miyagi.
Now, right there, shot number 12. Jan Balt. Does Alpesha pick one here for Uganda to swing the favor into the cricket crane side?
A few changes in the field. Dinesh will run into the mid-wicket region. A good decision as well, because the ball will be coming into Jan Conrad. So maybe he'll be looking at working it into that region. He's just coming to bat, try and attack him.
Didn't know much about that. Nakurani on the chase. They want a second, yes, and they see him turning around like a bus on a hill.
Nearly came off because Dinesh had just run into the position and the ball just ran past him.
So shot again there. Look at Dinesh. Once he slipped, the two was on. Final ball for Mr. Ramjani. Hitting the covers. Chance to run to Simon Sesazi. Does very well to give only one.
Yeah, what a bowling spell from Alpesh Ramjani, who will finish with 3 for 16 in his 4 overs. They will get handshakes from his captain and the rest of the team. Top quality stuff there from Alpesh. Namibia are now 80 for 3 after 15 overs.
Tibo, beautiful done. That's what I'd love to see. Eli, you're a guy who likes guys to play with. I think in caps on, and just what they do. It's not about going big. Yes, 5 overs to go, but if we can't get the boundary, let's take the one. The boundary column will take care of itself.
Well, at this point in time, somebody needs to take care of the boundary column, because 80 for 3 at 5 and over, that's pretty much, I don't think, where Namibia would want to be. Somebody needs to add some little bit of impetus into the attack. They scramble for 1. Credit should be given to Uganda. They've done well. They've been bowling pretty tight lines, restricting Namibia just to singles. Pretty much boundaries have been occasional here and there. So it's been a good 15 overs so far from the Ugandans.
Nakrani to Jan. Leaning back on the back foot there. Square driven for 1.
I'm sure the target for Namibia would be around the 150 mark, but for them to get there, they need somebody to take charge of it. They cannot be satisfied with just the 1s and the 2s so far, but however, they find themselves with 2 fairly new batters at the crease.
Exactly what Uganda have done, Eli. They've opened up the field, happy to give out the 1s, because they look at the wicket and they believe the surface is playing true. And they're asking Namibia, come have a go at us.
Again, quick single taken. There's a shot at the stumps. Bit of hesitation. Man was out.
And he's gone. Gone with the wind. Cardinal Sin running off a misfield of sorts. Not really, but one that you could call as such. And it's a team effort there that gives Uganda wicket number 4.
Jan Conrad, they ran. There was an opportunity for 2 there, but however, the calling left him stranded halfway down the track and couldn't get back in time. And he found himself short of his ground. He ran hard on the first one, but in trying to come back for that second, he was left stranded there. So Namibia lose their 4th, 85 for 4.
set man departs. The one who was seeing it as big as a football, Gerard Jans van Rezenberg. The awareness shown by Uganda to come back strongly in this match, because Namibia had runs around the 6th over, could have been in the 40s already.
Last delivery of the over for Danish Nakrani.
Trying to attempt another quick run. The withdraw from the temptation. Temptation is not good in this game of cold cricket. It's a dot ball to end the over of Nakrani. 16 overs gone. Namibia are stuck on 85 for 4. But what a tournament has been thus far. A century on the opening day. 7 half centuries thus far. 5 wicket hauls have been coming through thick and fast. And the catches have been sublime. But I tell you what, the temperatures here have taken a big toll on everyone, including people who think they're sitting under ACs.
Right, spin into the attack. And immediately he goes after it. Only manages to just give it some air. But it falls short of Cosmos at long on. Just keeps it to 1. Dylan Otto, the new man, trying to take charge of proceedings. And this is what will happen. Namibia will look to target a particular bowler that they can go after. And Otto would like to go after Henry Sinyondo at the moment. Work through the covers. The sweeper will clean up. Just keep it to 1. No partnerships of note besides the opening partnership of Malin Kruger and Nicholas Jacobus Devine of 43 runs. The next was JP Kutzer and Gerard of 27. The rest have been in single digits. But in these remaining overs, something needs to go for Namibia.
Right there in your frame is the big boy. No longer a child, but a big boy, the head coach of Cricket Uganda. Been an assistant to Steve Tikolo, Lawrence Matlane, but now it's his time to shine. And boy, oh boy, he will be taking the cricket cranes to the World Cup. Senyondo continues to give her runs. The way Senyondo bowls, Ella, you were a left-arm spinner as well in your heyday like me. The way Senyondo bowls makes you believe that he is confident of his abilities, giving the ball some more extra air than the rest of the spinners I've seen in this tournament.
Finds the edge, and this one will run away. That was a well delivered, not too much flight on that one, but it was kept deeping on the batter. They're able to come back for 2 though. 3 rather. Yeah, welcome runs. There we go, good delivery. Pitched on middle stump and turning towards the off stump and finds the outside edge. There's no slip in play. And they're able to run 3.
Because Senyondo bowls the way he bowls, I can tell you, that's why he's got so many wickets. Not in this tournament, but before today. Senyondo, 92 wickets. He is playing his 76th match for Uganda. And his best bowling is 4 for 4. And a little more to that, 7 times he's picked 4 fires. Quite handy. We're done with the 17th. 93 for 4.
Bilal Hassan being brought back into the attack towards the latter stages of the Namibian innings, currently on 93 for 4. Dylan Otto, he tried to go after Henry Sunyondo in the previous over, trying to add some fight and get a few boundaries on the board. Well bowled, nothing there. Good start by Bilal. 2 overs to his name and has only conceded 8 runs. This has been the hallmark of the Ugandan bowling side. Not giving anything away for free. Economical. Juma Miyagi is the only expensive bowler who's went for 9 in his solitary over, but the rest have been either giving away 6 runs and over or anything under that.
4 for 10 for Bilal Hassan yesterday. Today, he's gone for 9 and yet to pick up a wicket into his 3rd. Knowing when to give your bowlers the ball in this format is also crucial. Because of Bilal's abilities to bowl very well at the death. York after Yorker, yes, some do go stray. He bowls the final 2 overs. This 18th and the 20th. Jan Balt on strike now. Hard hands. The throw is to the keeper. The awareness being shown by the Ugandans in the field, quite impeccable. Immediately the ball is hit, they're asking the fielder in the local dialect, Luganda, to throw it to the keeper's hands. That's where the safe zone is for us to get a run-out chance.
His swing played straight but well fielded by mid-off. It's Roger Mukasa doing the fielding at mid-off. Now goes to a long on position.
Heavy balls there from Bilal Hassan, but a full-blooded drive there. Had the word for written onto it. But Roger did a fantastic job. It's good all-round cricket from the guys.
Edged by Conrad and a runaway to 3rd, who cleans up well. Just keeps it down to 2.
Like the batsmen, they're trying to get bat onto it. Yes, you're bowling it same area. We know the drill. They're sitting back deeper in the crease, waiting for him to go wayward a little, and full punishment will be meted out. But Senyondo, what an effort, running round and then chipping in a dive. Final ball of the 18th.
Just punched to mid-wicket. Good delivery. Just 6 runs off that 18th over. 99 for 4 after 18 is where Namibia are, scoring at just 5.5. It's just come down to the last 12 deliveries. What will they seek to get here, Namibia? And the way things are going, they might just end up around the 120 mark around there. But if they're able to get a few big hits in, probably to get to 130 is what they could target if they can find 15 and per over of these last two. A little bit of concerns on the Namibian faces there.
And they rightfully so. They were 41 for no loss after 6 overs. But I can tell you they've added another 58 runs in the next 12 overs. Hence, those faces you see.
Well, credit should be given to the Ugandan bowlers for those faces. They've done well in keeping things tight and quiet. Cosmos starts off with a wide in his third over, being tasked to bowl the penultimate over, the 19th over, which happens to be one of the most difficult overs to bowl.
Everybody targeting it, especially the batting team. They have 6 wickets in hand, but Dennis says wickets in hand are not runs in hand. It's in the air, it won't carry. The run round, come back for the second. The running is good between the wickets, and it's a good thing that the batsman did Jan Balt, not trying to overhit it, just hitting it in the gap and making sure it takes time to roll away to the fielder.
Oh, squirts it through point. There was an opportunity for a catch there, but it went flying at a low height. The sweeper doing quite well to clean that up. That was hit hard. Jan Conrad gave himself some room on the leg side, trying to look for boundaries, but none coming so far.
Still of time here, but yet to see any big drives off the tee boxes of the Namibians as they reach 100.
Again, thick outside edge, but this time this will run away for 4. The much required boundary that they were looking for, Namibia, they're able to find it. Fortuitous runs, you would say, didn't cleanly come off the middle of the bat.
The improvisation, innovation, getting the boundary there with aplomb.
That boundary is the first boundary since the 13th over. That's the last time that we had seen a boundary from Namibia. Now they're on 104. Can they get to 120 or rather 130 mark?
It's already a good over for them.
Shouts of cop behind. The umpire not interested.
Nine runs already in the over. Cosmas gone for 20 in his 2.4. Does he get a reprieve here with a wicket?
A swing and a miss. Jan Conrad trying to give himself some room on the leg side. Missed it completely. A dot ball. There'll be one more delivery to go here.
Cosmas been used sparingly by the coach because he's only coming back from an injury. Today I'm seeing him for the first time bowl more than 2 overs.
Room full toss. Opens the face of the blade, but a run away to third man. Cleans up. Keeps it to 1. And that will be the end of the 19th over. So after 19 overs, Namibia 109 for 4. Coming down to the last 6 deliveries of this innings. Ugandan captain calls on Juma Miyagi to bowl the last over. And there are consultations all around, and also the 2 batters, Jan Conrad, the in batter for Namibia at the moment, 21 of 18, will be on strike. How will they go about it? Will he go through the kitchen sink and everything at Miyagi?
I don't know. Miyagi given the ball ahead of Bilal for the last one. I was thinking else. But what do I know? I'm just a mere commentator. Miyagi's a spell the other day against the South Africans also. Getting him 3 wickets at the end against Ghana. Some good heavy yorkers there. But with Bilal another over, I won't be thinking too much. But like again I said, no emotions. I don't know too much about this game, maybe.
Goes big, opens the face of the blade. Deep backward square. Cosmos lost it a bit in the sun there. An opportunity for a run out, but Miyagi not able to collect it. Cosmos lost it with the sun in his face a bit, but was able to recover quickly and just keep it to 1. Dylan Otto now on strike. He has faced 7 so far and has got 8 to his name. 110 is where they are. They are looking to get possibly another 10 or 15 maybe.
Let's see what lines Juma can hit here.
Huge swing from Otto, misses it completely. The wicketkeeper is walking in with the bowler just to try and be mindful if he can get to the wickets if they do decide to run for one. But that was a edge there, but however not able to connect fully to that full toss. Goes for the scoop and only pairs it into the wicket-keeper's hand. Juma Miyagi strikes. Dylan Otto not able to make the desired connection. Namibia lose their 5th. It'll be 110 for 5. He was trying to go for something different. It didn't come off well. We've seen many a batters perish trying to do this.
This is the delivery again. Dylan Otto just shaking hands there with everybody else in the park. More importantly there with Uganda's keeper, who gets the simplest of catches he will ever get in his career.
And no better come to the crease will be straight into the tumps. Shouts of LBW. Umpire not interested. Henry Klasinger Scraps for one. Those will be signaled as leg byes. 111. Still can get 2 big blows here and try and get them to 120. Jan Conrad, the big man, 22 of 19 at the moment on strike. He's got 2 deliveries to try and see his side to a par score or close to a par score. Juma Miyagi's done well, only 2 runs so far off his 4 deliveries. Bowled! A swing and a miss. Juma Miyagi finds timber.
Juma Miyagi is bowled an over made in heaven for the Ugandans. Until now, that was a one right on the money. You miss, I hit a little hint of him dragging it on. Wickets.
An inside edge there from Conrad's bat onto his middle stump. And they will depart. So the search for big runs for Namibia continues to be elusive even in the last 2 deliveries. But what a Nova from Juma Miyagi. He's just given away 2 runs, but he's found 2 wickets. His figure so far will be 10 for 2 in 1.5 overs. He's got 1 more delivery to go.
Andre Klazinga on the first 1 delivery, yet to score. He will not play no part in the rest of this innings because the new man.
It'll be P.D. Blicknalt. Last ball. Here we go. A swing and a miss. And Miyagi strikes. He will finish with 3 wickets in this over and wrap up the Namibian innings.
Some real raw pace from Juma Miyagi, who's gone for bullseye, and it's been timber for Uganda this time around. Rearranging everything in the house. You must buy new furniture.
Well, what a way to end things here, and what a way to be clinical by Uganda. So, after 20 overs, Namibia will be 111 for 6. They never really got going, Namibia, scoring at 5.6 and over. Uganda have done well. They'll give themselves a huge pat on the back. And just even look at the Namibian scorecard. Marlon Kruger opened up with Nicholas Jacobus, the biggest partnership of 41 runs. Marlon scoring 21. Nicholas Davine 25. Gerard Reinsberg put up 19 of 28. And then JP Kutsa could only manage 9 of 14. Then Jan Bolt 22 of 20. And Dylan Otto managing only 8. And those were the runs that they were able to get off the bat, totaling 111, just plus those 7 extras.
The bowling card for Uganda, Mr. Alpesh Ravila Ramjani, leading from the front again, 3 for 16 in his 4. And Juma Miyagi there at the very end, doing a fine job as well. 3 wickets there for him for 10 runs in his 2 overs. The rest of the guys toiled very well, hustling the Namibian batters. No wickets for them, but the economy rates are proper. And well, we will leave you with the highlights of this first innings between the 2 teams. Namibia having won the toss and elected to have a bat.
We're back for the second innings of the first semi-final of the 13th African Games. Uganda taking on Namibia. Namibia won the toss, elected to bat first. They finished on Nelson for 6. So Uganda will need 112 runs from 120 balls. Roger Mukasa and Simon Sessaze stroll out in the middle to bat for the Cricket Cranes of Uganda. The Eagles of Namibia will need to find 10 wickets if they are going to make the final on Saturday. My name is Dennis Musali, and I'm doing this with Endurance FM. Endurance, how far?
I day. Good afternoon. Good morning here from the Achimota A Oval. It's Uganda needing 112 to win from allotted 20 overs. Umpire Aino Chabe. And the usual suspects is Roger Mukasa and Simon Sessaze.
Yeah, player of the match and the win against South Africa yesterday, Roger Mukasa, for anchoring that ranches for the Ugandans. But you feel that in the context of things, the Cricket Cranes might have the upper hand, but ultimately and importantly, they need to make sure that they get this job done in a very good manner for them to get themselves in the final. Ben Chikongo, the player of the match for Namibia yesterday, will take the new ball from the field end.
We might remind ourselves it's been low scoring the past 2 games on this wicket. Uganda chasing down South Africa till the last delivery of that innings, with his keeper Masaba finishing with a big 6. It's been set. That will take the ball for Namibia. Starts with a dot, aggressively striking that one straight to the fielder at mid-off. Roger Mukasa has been consistent with the bat. You have it, just a fuller delivery. He goes again, same fielder.
Yeah, Roger Mukasa, 169 runs for him in the tournament so far. Strike rate of 112, averaging 56. Has had a brilliant tournament. Take away, apart from John Van Heiden, the captain of South Africa, the only other close person to him is Collins Obuya. Those 2 balls coming right out of the middle of the bat, but straight to the fielders. Needs to just find a way of piercing the gap.
I think clearly that tells the story of this man. Been super consistent in this tournament. He will take the first single, and the chase is on.
Yeah, Roger Mukasa, sort of a comeback story for him. Struggled to make his way back into the team, but since he's come back, he's looked a vintage Roger Mukasa, and probably changed his style a little bit, not only about power and aggression, but he now knows when to switch gears and hang in there for the team. So as always, Roger, the ultimate team player. Team comes first every time Roger gets to play.
Well, he did that well against South Africa. We saw him bat almost through the innings and just losing his wicket in the last 5, giving the Ugandans the opportunity to be able to take that one home, even though he wasn't there till the end. Onto the middle of the bat, that one, Simon Sessaze.
Yeah, yesterday Ben Chikongo had a brilliant spell, especially for the Eagles. Picked up 2 wickets for only 9 runs in his 4 overs, but the way he bowled up front, I think set the rest of the tone for the other bowlers. He was right on the money each and every time. And he picked up 2 big Tanzanian wickets that deflated the rest of the batting.
I think it's a good thing to see Craig Williams. It's a smart move by Ugandan Cricket Association to get him to join that technical bench. no easy call. They will get plenty of advice from Craig. And also, good to see Jackson taking charge now. The young man has grown through the ranks. Haven't supported Steve Tikolo, Lawrence. I think it's time for GCA to consider just letting him through the World Cup. You'll be happy about that, Dennis. He's a homeboy.
Ela, endurance, you're setting me up, but I'll leave you to that.
Big shot, but I know Chabe not really keen, not interested, and the end of the first over, score is 1 for no loss.
How far?
Again, you can just see that one pitching just outside the line. So I know Chabi is not convinced that all three reds are available for him to make a decision. Jack Thomas will take the new ball from the zoo end. The sort of swapped ends. Jack Thomas previously bowled from the field end, but this time Anben Shikongo bowled from the zoo end, but they switched up the ends. Let's see how Jack Thomas can fare from the zoo end, and who'll be bowling to Roger Mukasa. And you've been mentioning about Uganda going to the World Cup. Both these two sides will be going to the World Cup to represent Africa alongside South Africa. And I think the Cricket Cranes and the Eagles are all looking for game time to try and expose the teams. So a competition like this gives you an opportunity again to keep testing the whole team, the whole squad, before you make a decision on your final 15. So there are a lot of players who can put their hands up in this particular tournament and maybe find themselves on the final 15 for the World Cup.
Can't agree less, Dennis. You're spot on. Roger feels as a single, then I think there was Simon just calling late.
Yeah, these two run well between the wickets. Sights and sounds of Accra. Even in your cameras there, you can see that the heat looks like a desert, but the heat is on here in Accra. Ooh, chance for a catch. But Roger was right on top of that, and that should race away for a boundary.
Was it tough catch, but it was there for the take, and Roger will be happy to get going. As they say, fortune favors the brave.
Yeah, difficult chance here for Hendrik Klasinger. Roger got those half chances. Sometimes when that one sticks, it can energize the rest of the group. But Roger, fortune always favors the brave and races away for a boundary. So Roger hits the ball so well, but straight to the fielders. I think that's something he will need to work on with Craig to just make sure for that sort of delivery, he lines it up so well, but it goes straight to the fielders. He needs to just find a way with the power he has. If he hit it just slightly a meter away from the fielder, they will never catch up with it.
That's what you have to focus on, timing. Brilliant shot. This time pierces the fielder. We'll get 2 runs. It's beautiful running between the wickets.
Something like that. That's what I want talking about. It's slightly to a meter away from the fielder. Then, unless the fielder does so well to keep it in, it gives you an opportunity to score runs. But even if you hit it hard but straight to the fielders at this level, you get nothing for it.
I agree with you. He needs to regularly find those gaps within and around this field. Shot and straight again to the fielder. He's been middling everything but not getting them away.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll do some homework with Craig Williams on that just to make sure that he's able to always pick the gaps. After the second over, Uganda 7 for no loss. Ben Shikongo will continue from the field end for the Eagles of Namibia.
I think clearly the strategy is clear. Don't give him a wicket. Very good call from Simon. Brilliant match awareness. You don't want to lose wickets in this fashion.
Yeah, and I think Simon has realized that P.D. Blegnott, who's fielding at point, is a lefty. So it was always going to be easy for him to pick up the throw, to pick up the ball and then throw towards the danger end. So he had to send Roger back immediately.
I think that's a good thing when you have a solid partnership that understands and the oppositions.
Very, very lazy there from Simon Sesazi. Endurance, I'll tell you, there used to be a coach, you can see the sort of a lazy shot just falling in front of the keeper, JP Kotza. Remember, the cricket cranes had a coach in the past who was just tell top order batters, if you're trying to play the ball to third man, means you're not a very good opening batter. Should always be looking at playing in front of you, not behind you.
Well, in the longer format of the game, you used to say play proper cricket shots and don't cheek around. But with T20 cricket and the shorter version, you know, you have to find runs. Brilliant knock. And they were running for that one. Scrambled there. Another single. They have to get going. They understand it. And both partners know what is required. It's just a situation of building up the momentum and increasing the tempo, because from here you can't just hold back. You need to keep going at 5 and over. Ensure you take it as deep as you can.
Yeah, it's important that you stay with the required rate. Uganda now scoring at just 3 runs every over. Required rate going up to 6.
Brilliant running. Run out opportunity and misses there. Another single. This is how you have to keep building.
Yeah, much better, but Roger and Simon need to be careful. Those last 2 singles were not very, very assuring. And this time, clean pick up and throw from Marlon Kruger. If he had hit directly, maybe Roger could have been in trouble. Just play that ball on the back foot.
And that's the important thing we have to take from this tournament, is that most captains are smart and bowlers are knowing they just have to bowl dot balls. Those balls without getting wicket, it puts the batters here under pressure and put the bench under pressure. Few that fumbles that one. I got another single. It's 4-3 already.
Yeah, it's not yet looking very sure out there in the middle for the cricket cranes. The Namibians, reading from the same script as the Ugandans didn't bother to go for the wicket so much. They just made sure that they dry up the runs, and then the wickets came a bit later.
One thing I've seen in this tournament is that the opening batters, as long as they stick in there for some time, eventually get runs. You don't want to take too many dot balls and lose your wicket and putting your team under pressure. And that's the end of the third over. It's 10 for no loss. Uganda trailing on 3.3 per over.
That's the beautiful Achimota ground. The Achimota ground is inside the Achimota Educational Institute. Endurance, I'm sure you've been here a couple of times to play cricket against Ghana. And this history, the school has 100 years of history. Very, very famous school in Ghana, Accra. But a change in the bowling for the Eagles of Namibia. Simon Shikongo comes into the attack from the Zuen to replace Jack Thomas. I'm thinking this will be the opportunity for the cricket cranes as well to try and seize the initiative, pick out a bowler that you want to put under pressure and attack, and try and score at a much higher rate.
Well, clearly, these two won't stick around long enough without fighting. They have to get going. I tell you straight up, first one tosses up over extra cover, and that will race all the way for the needed boundary. It's Uganda who clearly, it seems the message is sent in, and Simon would get going.
Yeah, overpitched and in the hitting arc for Simon Sesazi from Simon Shikongo. And it duly obliges. There isn't too much protection for Simon because we're still inside the power play. So he needs to get his lengths right if he's going to keep Roger and Simon quiet. Good cricket from Simon after boundary, pick up a single. Tries to get Roger back on strike.
Simon missing out on a century. 90 odd. I thought that was a big opportunity to make a big statement here on the board one. Raiders cricket is Roger 8 from 11 and Simon 7 from 9. Seeking that partnership for Uganda.
Yeah, Simon Sesazi and Roger Mukasa putting on 160 runs together in the victory over the Ghanaians. 90 for Simon and 60 odd for Roger. Uganda finished on 197 in that game. Simon Shikongo changing the angle for Roger Mukasa, bowling from round the wicket. From that angle, you need to make sure you get your angles right. Otherwise, there's deep mid wicket. If you're picked up there, again, Roger hits it hard, but straight misfield there from Marlon Kruger allows him to pick up a single. The ball was a bit pitched up. I thought it would go over the top.
That's the thing, Dennis. When you try to put too much power, you kind of like lose your composure. He must watch himself, and he's a fine batter. And trust me, he's striking it nicely. He just needs to keep that shape and ensure he's finding the gap as he goes through that motion. What a soft dismissal. Simon wouldn't be happy with himself. This is so cheap. And Simon would depart. 6 runs and a wicket from this over brings us to the end of the 4th over. 16 for 1.
Yeah, Simon Shikongo goes for plenty, but he has a knack of picking up wickets. Doesn't go back enough in his crease, Simon Sesazi, to create the room for himself to play the shot. The bowler prevailing, Simon Shikongo, with the breakthrough for the Namibians. Uganda lose their first wicket. Now 16 for 1 after 3 overs. Yeah, as Simon Sesazi departs for 7 of 10 balls, he's replaced by another lefty, Ronald Lutaya.
Beautiful sights from the main oval. The production team super doing justice to this tournament.
A change in the bowling for the Eagles of Namibia. Hendrik Klasinger comes into the attack to replace Ben Shikongo from the field end. Rush through quickly and get a single. Comes off the thigh pad of Roger Mukasa. Ronald Dutaya will take guard for the Cricket Cranes for the first time.
Uganda know they have to step on the gears now. They can't be losing wickets. Just ensure you have a decent partnership here. Bat through that first 10 overs. Keep rotating strike. And it's Roland who will take this one from Andre. Clearly, he wants that single.
Very tidy stuff here from the Eagles of Namibia. Yesterday, Klazinger had a very good spell as well for the Namibians. Just kept it nice and tidy. Picked up 2 wickets in the process, but he was always on the money and just trying to make sure that the batters are the ones who are coming after him. Fit in the toilet there from Ronald Dutaya. No room for him to cut that ball.
I think it didn't move at all. It was there to be taken off the back foot. But that's what happens when you're just coming in new and you have a bowler who is consistently bowling a decent line. You have to get off your shell and get going, get off strike. That's the thing. We talked about playing with the full face of the bat earlier. You know, the only time you start doing that is when you're long, you've been in enough to see what is happening.
Yeah, a top delivery there from Klazinger. Just going away from Ronald Dutaya very late. I don't know, it doesn't have too much footwork. It seems to be getting stuck on the crease. Not sure whether to go back in his crease or come up front. And once Klazinger is able to hold his line, he's now finding that outside edge. Up in the air, who is interested? And it is taken. Nicholas Davin takes the catch. Uganda lose their second. The dot ball pressure getting to Ronald Dutaya.
This is not how to bat. If you just come in and you got those 5 dot balls, the worst you can do is see the over through and hope that you get going in the second over. But that's it again. Just hoiking and didn't just a few meters outside the 30-yard mark.
Yeah, Klazinger gets the rewards, but that ball was there for the hitting. Ronald going for a big booming drive instead of just leaning into the ball and hitting it all the way along the ground. Uganda lose their second wicket. They're 17 for 2 after 5 overs.
We're changing the comms box. More voices you will hear from here. It's Eli Tawanda. You're welcome to the comms box. Did I get that surname right, Eli?
Yes, you did.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Endurers of Fem, the Prince of Lagos. 17 for 2 is the situation that Uganda find themselves needing 95 of 15 remaining overs. P.D. Blignalt bowling. And immediately Roger Mukasa picks a single off him, bringing Kenneth Waiswa, the stand-in captain, also the new batter at the crease.
I can just think about the mindsets Kenneth will be working with this time. He's the captain, standing one. You don't want to lose A brilliant one. They walked that one away towards the leg side. Just a single from there.
Yeah, he gets off the mark. He's got a lot on his shoulders. The weight of captaincy and also to do the business at hand. And at the moment, it'll be him and Roger Mukasa. They need some sort of partnership to get going here. Namibia managed to get 41 runs on the board before they lost their first wicket. Well, still now in the latter stage of the power play. Uganda have lost 2 for 20.
Shout, umpire Isaac not interested in that one straight up. There's 3 runs already from this over, 2 to come.
Good ball. This is what Blignall does. He gets it to turn away from the right-hander. Gives it good flight, decent flight, and is able to just extract a little bit of purchase from the surface. There. That line. End of the 6th over. It'll be 20 for 2 after the power play. Of the two teams, Namibia will be the happier of the two sides. Just having a look at the highlights here. Some near opportunities and chances that have come. Some big hits that we've seen. But also some simple catches that have been given away. Big hits and good takes. And those are the 2 wickets that fell for Uganda. And they lost Simon Sesazi as well as Ronald Lutaya.
Cut straight to the fielder again. At backward of point, Andre Klasinga is up against Roger Mukasa, who knows he has to get going. End of the power play, but Namibians have not opened up this field. A few protections, deep extra cover.
It's worked away leg side. Deep Equid Square has got some work to do. What Namibia have been good about is that they've been able to restrict Uganda from scoring quickly. They're only scoring at 3.3 and over at the moment. They've been bowling tight lines, stringing up a series of top balls that have created pressure. Coupled that with some brilliant pieces of fielding, as well some loose shots from Uganda. And it has found them in this situation where they have Uganda slightly on the back foot at 21 for 2. A scamper for 1.
I'll tell you, those 2 wickets were giveaways. If you would name that soft dismissal. Simon returning 1 to the bowler, and Roland just hoiking after 4 dot balls. You expected much from him, Roland.
Short and pulled away. I'll just keep it to 1. Shikongo will clean up. Not a big total that Uganda's chasing. 112 is the target. You just get a feeling that if these two were to drop anchor, not to try and be bogged down, but just seek to rotate strike and just work it around, they can get over the line. But however, the pressure of dope balls and the desire to go hard. Chops it on. Kenneth Waisa, that one too close to try and cut it. Chops it onto his leg stump and provides Andre Klasinger with a wicket.
Uganda in all sorts of troubles. As the delivery again, just backing away. We talked about keeping composure. Just get behind it and knock it around. Plenty of gaps in that inner ring you could utilize. Again, the third wicket, forced by dot balls. 89 required now of 80 deliveries. Is Kenneth Wisewa, the standing captain, who departs for 2 after 6 deliveries.
Well. Uganda have their backs against the wall at the moment, and they lose their third. Nowhere near in a position to cut that one. Just chops it onto his leg stump. Should have looked to play it with a straight bat, push it back. But however, the fall of that wicket brings this man into the crease. Dinesh Kumar Nakrani.
Dinesh Kumar, he's got the ability to take games away, but this time he will have to take in along with Roger Mukasa. Together, they should be able to bring this home for Uganda.
Gets off the mark immediately through the covers. He's knocking it for a single. Ben Shikongo, the sweeper, cleans up. And that'll be the end of the over of Klasinger. Good one. Just only 4 runs off it. But all importantly, he picked up a wicket. 24 for 3. Uganda.
If you are just joining us, it's the first semi-final encounter here at the African Games here in Accra, Ghana. It's Namibia who won the toss and elected to bat, scoring 111 for the loss of 7 in 20 overs. And it's Uganda who is chasing, presently at 24 for 3. We're into the 8th over. John Conrad as a bowler from the zoo end of this over.
Jan Conrad Bolt. Crunched away, but just for one by Nakrani. Roger Mukasa has got a big task at hand to try and see his side over the line. But however, he finds himself in a similar position as to yesterday, where wickets were falling on the other side. And they had to dig deep and try and grab a hold of the situation.
Roger just taking his time. 13 of 21 deliveries. He knows sooner or later he needs to get going. Brilliant running by Dinesh. Very good awareness.
And that was a good call from Dinesh Nakrani. That's what they need to do. Just keep rotating strike. Don't take any big, bold shots at the moment. Just work it around, and it'll get you there. You can see they're trying to play with soft hands and knock it into just a vacant region. Danish Nakrani, 32 years of age, has got a career strike rate of 129 in T20. High score of 77. So he can play, he can bat. That's the end of the 8th over. It's 26 for the loss of 3.
Well, at some point, Uganda will have to get going. They can't stick around without trying to score big. It's 26 for 3 and it's 8 overs board. Roger Mukasa or Dinesh Kumar, which of them will become the enforcer here? The bowling has been very decent and good. The fielding has complemented it. Those 3 wickets, I'll tell you, have been very cheap, like in the walk on the park for Namibia. But Roger sensing this, you can see that view from his grill, the look on his face, finding the gaps. I would say it's time to explode.
Well, you can only explode if you're given the opportunity. But I tell you, if I was in Uganda's team, I would not be pressing the panic button at the moment. They need 7.1 and over. But if they're able just to get about 5 singles in and over, then get the old boundary here and there, or target 1 or 2 bowlers in the latter end, they should be fine. But it's just looking to create some sort of partnership that's important. Because we do know that Roger Mukasa has the power to tee off. However, they just need to bet sensibly. You would say just up the run rate a bit from 3.2 where they are.
I agree with you, Eli. That intent to get those singles, you keep rotating the strike, that one of boundary will come, and then wait for those 2 big overs within the last 12. They will always come when you're chasing totals such as this. You don't want to get bogged down with dot balls and trying to just go big every time. But the good thing is they've got the experience of Roger and Dinesh Kumar to do that for them. However, we must give credit to the Namibians. They built beautifully, tidy line and length, and ensuring Uganda doesn't get away and off the mark.
Some field changes for Klasinger. He's got a lot of boundary riders, pretty much on the leg side. Long on, deep mid wicket, deep backward square, and a sweep on the offside. Big heave, that's well struck. It's got a lot of air. Long on will watch it sail over his head for 6. A good, clean connection from Danish Kumar Nakrani.
It's been in the kitty. That's it, right on the slot. Picked it well enough. That balance hanging in between, and they will watch it go. The much needed boundary for Uganda.
And that one coming off a free hit. And works the leg side. That's good cricket. They can push for 2 here. And they do that with ease.
That's 10 already from that over. Those are the big overs we talk about. They will definitely come. You just have to keep looking for those 1s and 2s.
It definitely relieves them of some sort of pressure that had built upon them. And reduces that required run rate just down to now 6.5. So that's good. If they can capitalize on this bad start by Heinrich Klasinger and get a few more runs. Good comeback. A lot will be depending on these 2 here.
Nearing 76 from 11.2. At 6.7 per over. Still within reach.
Pick up a single. Open in the face of the blade. Runs it down to 3rd man. Quick single taken. That's good cricket. It's been a good over for Uganda, this one. I picked up quite a lot of runs in it. 13 to be specific. End of the 9th. It's 38 for 3.
And that's what we talked about. Getting those singles, playing with soft hands, but just keeping the shape and face of that bat, ensuring that you're playing with the full face. It's always going to be difficult if you don't get going in the power play overs, but once the field is open, then you can pick your singles in and around. And I think, again, Uganda will have to bat deep this pair to survive this onslaught. And Namibia bowling beautifully. That over was one of the big ones needed by Uganda. Hopefully they find another.
Jan Conrad, ball to continue. Mukasa will work it through the offside for a single. Yep, they just need to continue on the same note that they had. If they can find a boundary per over, it will lessen the pressure.
Oh, plays and misses that one. Almost dragged it on.
A tentative moment there for Nakrani. You could see him. He was looking to come down the wicket a bit there, but changed his mind towards the end. Gives himself room. It's a well-pegged leg side region with boundary riders for Conrad.
Conrad bowling beautifully. There's 3 balls left in this 10th over. And it's Roger Mukasa who takes the delivery.
Again, they will just be able to run one.
It's always going to be difficult with that height of Conrad to pick it up. Even when it's short, if it's not a half tracker, it's going to be difficult to get under it.
Pick up another single. They just need to keep the scoreboard ticking as much as possible. And then here and there try and find a boundary. So far only 4 runs off this over and 1 more delivery to go. Well bowled, a quicker delivery, dot ball to end the 10th. It'll be 42 for 3 after 10.
And we'll be having drinks breaks and a change in the comms box. Innocent in Dahola.
Halfway through the innings, 10 overs done, 10 overs remaining. Uganda chasing 112, currently on 42 for the loss of 3 wickets. It has not been an easy task for them. They haven't had any partnerships going. They have lost wickets at regular interval. This partnership they have currently of Roger Mukasa and Danish Kumar Nakrani, it's their highest at the moment with 19 runs on the board. They'll need a whole lot more. I welcome Innocent into this second segment, the Ugandan innings.
Thank you, Eli. Happy to be here. Some good lively pace there. From that man, Ben Shikongo, he made big headlines at the T20 World Cup. The last one when Namibia did get a mighty scalp there against Sri Lanka.
Ben Shikongo has been bowling well in this tournament and magnificent figures yesterday. Player of the match in that game. That's why Namibia playing in this semi-final played very well, rather bowled well. Nakrani looking to line that one up over cover. Not able to get the connection that he desires.
Trying to go for power there. Dinesh Kumar. Of course, Shikongo knows a thing or two about Dinesh. He did score an unofficial T20 century against this team, Dinesh, down in Windhoek at the United ground there.
Comes down the track, stays low, but they're able to run one, which will be signaled as a by Ainu Chabid, the umpire.
The way Dinesh bats is like a double-edged knife. Very useful, but very dangerous. It could as well cut you, because you see he's trying to score runs. He's not minding about the reputation of Shikongo. And another day, another batsman will be saying, this guy is bowled 2 overs for 4 runs. How about I have a look at him and just get the singles? But Dinesh is one known to die wandering.
Work leg side. He push, but brilliant work in the field there. By JP Kutsa, just keeps it to 1.
That's the way to go about business. Just keep the scoreboard ticking. It's a runs game. If you get a run, those are 2 runs, rather than going block, and you want to go boom. Boom could be timber.
And that's the risk of it. If you try and leave it a little bit too late, it could be your demise there. Swing and a miss. And Nakrani definitely not looking to be tied down. He's looking to target Ben Shikongo here. Messes it totally, kept low again on him. And the reaction from the bowler tells you how close that was to the wickets. Could have put him in business here.
And I tell you what, Jan Pierre Koza is having a long, busy day there. He's fielding with every part of his body. But well, he's fighting for a country, a proud cricketing nation. He's been to the World Cup before, more than once.
That'll be an extra. That'll be called wide.
Shikongo knows exactly what he's doing. I think he was trying to make that one to move. And we saw such dismissals yesterday. Guys were bowled round their legs.
Yeah, a lot of South Africans were bowled around their legs yesterday. Hit straight back to the bowler. Another dot ball. It's been a good over from Chikongo. Only 2 runs off it. And none of them off the bat. 11 overs done. 45 for 3 Uganda.
Sights and sounds of Achimota, here where the cricket is making its debut at the 13th edition of the African Games. 2 new facilities here look very nice. Over B in the backdrop there, but we're here at over number A. And the guys watching from Uganda, I tell you, they will be saying, we wish we had one like this. But wishes are no horses for beggars.
PD Blignall will come from the Accra Zoo end into his second over. Just making sure that his field set is right with consultations with the captain.
Time to bowl some leggies. And some of these are fringe Namibian players, the Richelieu Eagles. Uganda should be targeting some of them, put them under pressure up front. And I tell you what, that's exactly what the national ground is thinking. They try to score as many runs off them, because when the seasoned campaigners like Chikongo come through, the risk percentage has got to go down. Deft touch. And well, Roger set off quickly, but that was always going straight into the fielder's hands. Good bowling there from Mr. Blignat.
Handy stuff from Blignall. Big smash. And this one will go for the maximum. That came from the sweet spot of Roger Mukasa's bat.
Roger Mukasa not trying to overhit this one. Just a good hand-eye coordination. A dummy shuffle up front, and then click bang straight to the side screen.
And now trying to be nifty, trying to be clever. That's Roger.
And that is it. You get a good 6 down the ground, telling you play to the full face. Then you try a cheeky one. Sometimes batsmen.
It's crushed into the covers for 1. And that will be the end of the 12th over. 54 for 3.
Keeping things in control. These 2 guys, the Ugandans, I know the batting consultant, Craig Williams there, divided loyalties, but he's got a job to do, and the job he's got is to make sure Uganda's batting unit comes together, and must be telling these 2, please, play time, stay there, read the game, awareness, and put on your thinking caps.
Jack Thomas into the attack.
Runs tough to come by for Uganda early on The power play had 20 odd runs, 17 to be precise. At that stage, Namibia had 41 for no loss in 6. Uganda's bowlers striving to make things a little quiet there, and they did very well to wrestle back the initiative.
Yeah, Uganda were pretty tight in their bowling lines. But however, Namibia have just been a touch better here in keeping things quiet. Let's play through the covers, uppish but safe. Skips it down to 1. And still yet I continue to say that Uganda should not press the panic button as yet. If these two can just continue to build a partnership and look to target 1 or 2 bowlers, they'll be back in here.
Talk about targeting, and believe me, it's not time to unleash the sniper's rifle. Because if you look at that scorecard, 7 needed every over, you can get that in singles and doubles. Jack Thomas Brasso, part of that under-19 team that was in Dar es Salaam and at the World Cup.
Looking to come down the wicket was Roger. It doesn't time it well, comes off his glove. He'll be wincing in pain on that occasion. Trying to be innovative.
Well, you realize that the two guys, they are trying also to make sure they're not eating up dot balls. Thomas Brasso bowling very well. Give him some credit there. Let's see how he ends it up.
Smashed into the covers and gone. What a magnificent catch in the covers there by Nicholas Jacobus Davin. Nakrani trying to smash it over. Hits it straight to the man of cover. Uganda lose another.
Good catch there from Nico Davin. Hit straight at him. He swallows it nicely. The danger man for Uganda is gone. Dinesh Kumar Nakrani, just 15 from 20 with the big 6 there. Better show with the bat for him today than I've seen since he scored 43 from 23 against Kenya. You can see that he went for power. It didn't come off the sweet spot. It's a big wicket for the youngster, Jack Thomas Brasso.
Yeah, Nakrani's eyes lit up when he saw that full toss. Went for full power. Not able to complete. Really get enough height on it. And he perishes. With his demise, Alpesh Ramjani comes to the crease with one more delivery to go from Jack Thomas. Into the block hole. Dope ball to end it. And 13 overs down. And it's 57 for 4.
From here on, it will be left to the all-rounders, starting with the wicket-keeper batter, Cyrus Kakuru. Alpesh Ramjani, a man who can single-handedly win games for you at any level. He was the man, the architect of that famous victory of Uganda, 5-wicket victory for Uganda against Zimbabwe.
Roger Mukasa still in. He will be with Alpesh Ramjani, who has just come in and immediately calls for a different bat. Dennis normally calls it the one that hits. Wonder how did he leave it behind when he came in, because
These are moments when you earn cult status as a cricketer. Alpesh has some of that, but getting a little more won't hurt him or his reputation.
well, he needs to do a little bit more today. Quickly works it down. Next side for a single. Gets off strike, which is good. Let the man that has been in from the start, Roger Mukasa, 30 of 38. He needs to see this all the way.
Blignot up to some mischief right there, trying to say keeper. Ravilal is over backing up.
It's crushed straight. Let's just be one. They don't mind the ones, Namibia. They don't mind giving away the singles because they've been stringing up top balls as well to make up for those singles. Just like that. And the required run rate goes over 8 and over. It's 52 required of 6.2 overs.
Every dot ball here would take that net run rate up, up, and up further. Blignot with a very good over here. 3 singles up front and 2 dot balls now. Cut by Alpesh. Straight to the sweeper at a deep point. It's a beautiful over from PD Blignot. His spell reads 0 for 16 in 3. Uganda are 61 for 4 after 14.
Jack Thomas into his final over of his allotted 4. 51 required of 6 overs. At 8.5 on over. Works the leg side. Can they push for 2 here? Roger will only keep it to 1. There's work to be done here by Uganda. The remaining batters need to target someone. They will need to look at the bowling arsenal that Namibia has and say, who can we take on? We need a couple of big overs to go if they're able to pull this one back. Go straight. That's hit with some venom, and it'll be fielded well by Malin Kruger, sweeping out there at long on. Keeps it to 2. The big man would need to do a lot of running if he's to take on the singles and the doubles if the boundaries are not coming. Again, looks to go straight. This gets 1.
This is how they play cricket. Roger Mukasa giving the rest of his batsmen in the dugout already back there. A little clinic in how to bat under the conditions, under tight bowling, under pressure. It's a medal match, Mr. Eli.
Rajam Kasa just signaling to the dagger that he needs another bat. The one that hits. It's such moments that define great players who will stand up and be counted from Uganda.
Touch and go. No runs to be made on the square. Jack Thomas doing very well there. He's given it just 4 runs thus far. Required run rate moving to 9 per over. Every dot ball will send shivers down the spines of the Ugandans.
Played straight. Pick up just 1. Kasa's looking for 2, but not able to get comeback. Signals for the bat quickly. Like bring it, Narayan. Because he knows he needs to get going. He needs to launch himself. The honors now fully depend on him.
And it's his big brother, Frank Nsubuga, doing water duties today. That brings the big bat for the kid bro. He says, come on, do it for the family, do it for your team, and do it for the nation. The Pearl of Africa needing some medals here in Accra. He
Goes
gets the
straight
bat, he
again.
wants and a sweet hit there.
Good work by Marlon Kruger. Does beautifully to keep it to 2. Working hard at long off. Marks the end of the 15th over. It'll be 68 for 4 after 15.
Back end of the match, just the 30 balls left. You're going to need 44 from 30. Dennis Musali, please come, let's take this home. PD Blignat. Dennis, is this the over they take on PD? He's bowling his final. The captain can't deny him another over. Or do they just play him out and let that run rate creep into 10? Swept. There is a man down at deep square leg. You have a small grin on your face, Dennis. What's happening?
No, I'm very fine. Just Cricket Cranes keeping it very, very tight. I think it's going to be tight on the finishing line. 43 is still the required runs.
It's the big wicket. Roger Mukasa going for a switch hit. He misses everything. There's a roar coming from Blignat. It's a roar of joy. Big, big wicket. Is this the turning point for the match?
Yeah, PD Blignot. Roger Mukasa going for the switch hit, but picking the wrong moment. The set batter for the Cricket Cranes will go. They lose their 5th wicket. Now 69 for 5 is where they find themselves. Spot of a bother here for the Cricket Cranes. 69 for 5, not very ideal with 2 new batters. Cyrus Kakuru, the keeper batter, will join Alpesh Ramjani. Can see there. Cyrus Kakuru will take guard against PD Blignot.
The information coming from Uganda's dugout says Kakuru Tobawa. They're asking the twin not to let go of this chance because he's yet to score any runs in the tournament and he's been playing every match. He's doing a knock here. Hitting the sweeper, Cyrus. Chance to run two. Yes, they will get two. And it's good ground fielding right there from Dylan Otto.
I think the shot selection for me in that previous dismiss of Roger was just wrong. He's been going, he has gone downtown and picked up a 6. The ball was right there in the slot. Should have done the same. Now the hard work has to be done by Cyrus and Alpesh. And they've mentioned Cyrus has always been coming in situations when the pressure is on. He has to deliver something for a very loyal following back home.
It's the end of a beautiful over there. Of course, very good spell from PD Blignat with the biggest wicket of them all. The set man, clean board by Blignat. His figures are 1 for 19 in 4. The score is 71 for 5 after 16.
But the thing is, Uganda can't continue like this. 41 from 24 balls is what they need. They need to throw the kitchen sink and everything in there to Namibia. They still have some people who can slog and hit a long cricket ball. Juma Miyagi and Cosmas Cheuta. In my option, there is no point in hanging around. Klasinger comes back into the attack for the Namibians. 10 runs every over means that Uganda have to at least find 2 boundaries in every ball if they are going to overhaul this total.
Pressure onto Uganda with every dot ball, Dennis. That run rate we'll see move up. It was 10.10 before that delivery. The dot ball takes it to 10.7.
I think what the Namibia has also done well is all their medium pacers are ball from the field end. The ball is not coming up well from that side. So it's sort of difficult to tee off from that side. And I think that has been very, very intelligent from them. Ben Shikongo just bowled one over of pace from the zoo end, and once he realized that they could be able to utilize the field end much better, he's bowled from that field end his other overs. So it's been good cricket, good intelligent cricket from the Namibians.
11 per over now. It's the wicket. 100 Klasinger strikes. Uganda on the back foot. The all-rounders must come out to do the job. They did well with the ball, and now they must deliver with the bat.
Booming drive from Alpesh Ramjani, but there goes the wind and the ball into the gloves of JP Kotsa. Uganda lose their 6th wicket, 71 for 6. Juma Miyagi will join Cyrus Kakuru out in the middle. The youngsters will need to do something for the cricket cranes.
It is not easy for Uganda going on from here. They need just not the fight, but a lot of skill, because Namibia is bowling impeccable lines. Throwing his bat at that one. No stable balance. Everything the doctor didn't prescribe is what you're watching if you're Ugandan. Two guys who could be going back to the West Indies for the second time in a space of 2 years, because they were there in 2022 at the Under-19 World Cup, have got a job to do here if Uganda is to pick up a medal that is not bronze. Clean ball, fast ball. Bullseye is what Andre Klazinga does. Uganda are out of sorts, out of place, and nowhere.
One brings two for Namibia. Taking a shimmy down the wicket, Juma Miyagi. No sense of where he is. Goes across the line. Again, the ball staying low. And rattles into the off stump. Uganda losing their 7th wicket. Juma Miyagi goes without troubling the scorers. Andre Klazinga with the wicket. 71 for 7.
This is the delivery. That off stump goes cartwheeling. Juma Miyagi, ill-advised, thinking he can hit this one all the way to the University of Ghana, where he does reside at the Games Village. It's the bowler that reigns, Andre Klazinga, on a hat-trick, Dennis.
Hat-trick ball for Klazinga, and the new batter for the Cricket Cranes is Cosmas Chauta.
No runs for Uganda from their top order. That burden left Roger Mukasa for 2 back-to-back days, and looks like they will be the 2 worst days Uganda do have in the tournament with the bat. Touch and go. Cosmas Cheuta is off the mark. He's a man who likes to apply himself. He likes to bat a little. But I tell you, 12 per over, not impossible mathematically, because they say everybody can fight, but the skill, how do you fight?
Yeah, Cosmas has some long levers, but they always say that the bowlers get you close. They just never win you the game. I think they've left a lot of work to do for the rest of the batting. But Cosmas Cheuta, a very proud boy, and he's trying to make up for lost time because he's been out of the team injured. He hasn't put a foot wrong the whole tournament with the ball, but the requirement right now from his team is to try and get them over the line. 38 is what you're going to need off 18 balls.
.38 at 12.67 per over. Dennis, will this go down to the wire?
As a neutral, you want it to go down to the wire. But I'm sure a loyal following of the Cricket Cranes, they're hoping that one of these two players can be the hero for them. And for the Eagles, they're just trying to make sure that they see through this game. They've done everything right up to until now. Changing the bowling for them. P.D. Blignot gets out of the attack, and Gerhard Johannes comes into the attack. And I've told you, Innocent, the Namibians have bowled their spinners from one end, and they've continued to parade with the medium pacers on the other end, realizing that the ball keeps low from the field end.
Namibia were the only team to beat Uganda during the World Cup qualifiers in Windhoek last year in November. And here today, looks like Namibia will complete a rare double over Uganda, even with a few senior players missing.
Not a rare double. I think Namibia has had Uganda's number in the last couple of encounters. And that trend looks like it's going to continue for now. Stamping dismissal there missed by JP Kotsa. Deceived in the air, Cyrus Kakuru.
Chance to run. They won't mind about the ones. They know the singles continuing to dim the lights on Uganda's innings. with the sun shining ever so brightly here. Just midday in your frame there. What was that big clock from Achimota School? And that is what it looks like. It's a dark cycle, Dennis. I am starting to think the gods have spoken. Nothing will go Uganda's way today.
Yeah, I see a worried looking dugout there for the Ugandans. No happy faces.
Jan Bart, the fielder, the hack down the ground. The bowlers take you close, Dennis, but they never win you matches. 18 gone. The score is 7-7-7.
Uganda now need 35 from 12 balls. Namibia have done all the hard work, got 111 only in their 20 overs. After winning the toss and electing to bat first. But they've made this a contest with the ball. Jackson Ogwan, the interim head coach for the Cricket Cranes, scratching his head. Can't do so much from the dugout. You'll have to trust the two guys out in the middle, Cosmas Chewuta and Cyrus Kakuru.
And they come up against the seasoned campaigner whose overs have gone for 6 runs, 3 of them he bowled this last year. They take off, but those who had nobody, even a fly is safe. If you're taking singles when you need 17.5 per over. Uganda, Dennis, have been outfoxed here today. The tactics you've talked about, how they've bowled their bowlers, how they batted at the back end.
Yeah, the Namibian technical team there.
Oscar, the man who's in charge of high performance in Namibia, coming through here as the head coach for this team. Chance for a catch, but hit over the fielder. Does it race ahead to the boundary? Yes, it does, because it was played as a hook shot with Cyrus Kakuru advancing down the ground.
Not a bad plan there from Ben Shikongo. I saw him coming down the wicket. Banged in short. Cyrus able to get a top edge. Saw him coming down the wicket and banged in short. A brave shot there from Cyrus. That flies over Simon Shikongo and races away for a welcome boundary for the Ugandans. They need a lot more of those to try and score as many runs as possible in the penultimate over of the game, so that there is less work to do in the final over.
$29 is the equation from just 9 balls. Again, mathematically, if you believe, please do believe, but I tell you, hope is a very dangerous thing, Dennis. It eventually kills you.
Yeah, hope has never been a strategy. So for the Ugandans, I think they will have some homework to do after this if it doesn't go their way.
Hoping beyond hope is Uganda. Here is Shikongo. Crunched. Where does that go? Just down to the sweeper.
Yeah, Cosmas Chewuta just trying to line that up. 28 from 8 balls for the Cricket Cranes is what they need. I think the Cricket Cranes need to understand that they don't have so much power down the order. It's not like the other guys, Cyrus or Cosmas, are incapable, but their hitting range not as good as most of the guys in their top order. So
Cyrus goes this time round. Chance for a catch. It is swallowed. Beautiful catch right there, taken by that man, Andre Klazinga.
another good delivery from Ben Shikongo. Cyrus Kakuru advancing, but banged in short. Cyrus doesn't get enough of it. Klazinger running in from the boundary and takes a very good running catch. The Namibians might have done enough work for them to get themselves into Saturday's final. The Cricket Cranes are now 84 for 8. Bilal Hassan is the new batter and he will join Cosmas Cheuta.
And he's cleaned up. Fast ball. 9 down Uganda.
That won't be today for Bilal Hassan. Ben Shikongo with a brilliant 19th over. Picks up 2 wickets. But most importantly, also leaves a lot of runs for the person going to bowl the final over. 28 is what Uganda will need off the final 6 overs. Wicket time there. That's how you bowl to the tail. The Yorker clipping leg stump from Ben Shikongo. Uganda now staring down the barrel of a semi-final, another semi-final defeat. 84 for 9 is where they are, but they need 28 of 6 balls. Top quality ball in there from Ben Shikongo. Goes through the gate of Bilal Hassan, who didn't even offer anything. Jack Thomas will bowl the final over from some very, very good plans here. But realizing that because there's so many runs to work with, they can allow Jack Thomas to bowl from the zoo end with no pressure at all.
Tell you what, it's just 1 wicket away. Stage set for Namibia to play in the final in a tournament where they will have won only 2 matches. That big victory against Tanzania yesterday, helping them across with a better net run rate. Yorker from Jack Thomas. The share stays with his fellow height mate Cosmas. No love lost.
Yeah, I think Cosmas will try and have most of the strike. Highly doubt Henry Senyono is interested at all, because Cosmas is one who can try and hit and do some range hitting.
Going to swing very hard there again, Cosmas. Swinging for nothing.
Yeah, swing and a miss, but Jack Thomas won't mind that. Every dot ball just makes it a lot harder for the Ugandans. 28 from 4 balls.
4 legal deliveries left. Mathematically, they won't make it if they only bowl 4 legal deliveries. They can only get 24 runs. Hitting it straight down the ground. Run through for 1. The pressure has been removed from this match as a contest, Dennis.
Yeah, there's
it's
no
a mere procession now.
It's not a contest at all. It's just going through the formalities for now. 3 more balls left. Looks like it's game set match for Namibia. They will be in Saturday's final, and they will be waiting for the win of the afternoon encounter where Zimbabwe is taking on Kenya. For the Ugandans, another soul-searching performance.
Senyondo off the mark in the tournament. In a game that is continuing to look like a big mismatch. Number 11 in the world up against number 22 in the world. And the 11 places are telling every inch on the faces of the Ugandans.
Yeah, numbers don't lie, you would say in this case, because Namibia have done everything right. Didn't put on so many runs on the board, but you can see there are not very happy faces in the Ugandan dugout. Namibia didn't score so many runs, 111, but unfortunately for Ugandans, they failed to come up with a batting performance to get them over the line. Yesterday they struggled, chasing down 95. It's game, set, match. Namibia, who see themselves into Saturday's final. They win by 24 runs, and they've made sure that they continue to have Uganda's number. The Cricket Cranes will be playing in the morning bronze medal contest, but I don't think that's a game they wanted to be in.
The dream is all but over for Uganda. They came here with gold medal hopes. They told everyone that could lend them an ear, we want the gold medal. But now they must contend in a scratch, my back, bronze, skirmish.
Yeah, I think that's going to hurt a couple of Ugandans. You can see the head coach there in deep thought, Jackson Ogwang, as well as Robinson Obuya. That is going to hurt for the Ugandans. They've been unbeaten. The Namibians have found 2 good performances that have seen them get into the gold medal match on Saturday afternoon. That's a mark of a good team, that when they need to raise their level, they are able to do that. The Namibians winning by 24 runs. The Ugandans could only finish on 87 for 9 in their 20 overs, failing to chase down 111 for 7. The happy ending for the Namibians, they will have a relaxed afternoon as they watch the second semi-final that's coming up, where Zimbabwe are taking on Kenya.
Handshakes all round. Hard luck to you guys. The Cricket Cranes, they do say the Richelieu Eagles. It's been a fantastic team effort from these guys, only winning the first game yesterday, and they come up against a team that was buzzing, Uganda, and brimming with lots of confidence. And guess what? They ball it out and restrict to 87. Some of the big officials from Namibia there in your frame. Oscar, Hestel, hugs all round. For Uganda, it's back to the drawing board. Let's look at the batting scorecard now. Roger Mukasa again standing out from this team of Uganda as the only man who can get a start and stay longer. 36 from 43. There was just 15 runs from Dinesh Kumar Nakrani, but he didn't stay long. The rest of the guys struggled. They struggled in every true sense of the word, getting just 5 extras from these Namibians. Uganda finished on 87 for 9 in 20, and a below par performance from a team heading to the World Cup. They bow out. They wish they could bury their heads in the sand for now, but hard luck to the Cricket Cranes. It is Namibia who celebrate right below the comms box. The rower goes on. They are stamping their feet because they've just pulled up a masterclass. They set up a crime scene for Uganda worth an Oscar. Ben Chikongo, man who's done the job. The summary of the game: Nicholas Davin, 25 run a ball. Jan Bart Conrad, 22 from 20. Malan, the 320 is the difference because Uganda had only a 136, a 15 and a 10. But the bowling, Andre Klazinga with 4 for 19. Ben Chikonga among the wickets again with a pair. And we'll leave you with the highlights as the celebrations go on here for Team Namibia, who will be in the final and play either Kenya or Zimbabwe in that gold medal match. The highlights for now as we prepare for the presentation.
Top order, they really get going. And the Congratulations, skipper. 2 losses in the group stages. 1 win when you took over. A victory here today. Run us through your emotions.
Yeah, just I think the team deserved this. We had a rocky start. Yeah, it came together today.
Well, you are in the medal place. How important is that to you and your team?
I think for us as a young team, was to prove them wrong. So they step towards the end.
And to help us with the player of the match presentation, past president of Ghana Institute of Architects, Williams Evans Alpha. And the player of the match today, 4 wickets for 19, a maiden over in 4 overs, 100, Klasinga.
What I get out of there, you know, the
Anyway. Okay. Hi, Klasinga. Congratulations. We want to take us through your emotions here. Amazing build up by Ben Chikongo, and then you took over. How do you feel?
I was very excited. Struggling a bit at the beginning. I just kept running my lines and legs. To my skip, and kept my foot behind the line.
Well, you put your team into a very positive position. Tomorrow is the finals. You are in there.